The world-destroying attack continued, spreading further. However, the figure and aura of demonic Xiao Yan seemed to be slowly consumed by this extraordinary force of destruction. Under the overwhelming destructive power of a quasi-divine combat skill, the demon inside Xiao Yan went wild, never surrendering. But no matter how fierce the demonic power was, Xiao Yan's body was gradually being swallowed up in the deafening explosion. "Master, are you all right?" In the sky above, surrounded by the evil black cloud, the 6 poison generals hurriedly gathered around the giant, centipede form of the centipede evil emperor, their faces filled with concern. "Cough, cough. I'm fine. This troublesome foe has finally been destroyed." Fortunately, the evil water altar wasn't damaged. Now, the poison within it is ready. You 6, take the altar to the corridor at the end of the Reincarnation Sea and spread the poison into the sea. You 6 will also share in the merit of this mission to the Reincarnation Sea. The centipede evil emperor's legs moved, and a dark-colored water altar, several meters in size, appeared before them. Inside the altar was a sickly, blood-red liquid, containing a toxic power that even an 8th Reincarnation stage expert would struggle to resist. Once this poison was released into the Reincarnation Sea, the entire sea would likely be obliterated. It would be a catastrophe and a poison rain on an unimaginable scale. The 6 poison generals glanced at each other, their eyes gleaming with greed as they watched the twisting void of the quasi-divine combat skill explosion. "Go now." The centipede evil emperor knew what they were thinking. He swung his massive body and coldly snorted, his voice dark and foreboding. "Yes." At that moment, the 6 took the water altar and, with a surge of energy, left for the corridor at the end of the Reincarnation Sea. The master-servant relationship was unshakable. "I'll go with the blood skeleton to bring the poison rain. You 4, go and stop the rest of the Great Thousand Alliance to prevent any unforeseen changes. Move out." As the words left his mouth, the area once again erupted with suffocating waves of energy. The 4 poison generals at the 8th Reincarnation stage, alongside the centipede evil emperor's army of 1,000,000 poisonous insects and the Holy Origin Lord's allied forces, launched a relentless assault against the immortal sacred sovereign and others. The battle was fierce, with both sides resisting desperately. However, in this vast battle of life and death, no one noticed that the 3 reincarnation tombs, sheltered by the flame god's cauldron, were slightly trembling, as though a long-dormant energy was slowly awakening. "Xiao Yan, Xiao Yan. No matter how crafty you are, in the end, you will fall by my hand." Only when the 6 poison generals and the army of 1,000,000 poisonous insects had completely vanished into the evil clouds did the centipede evil emperor twist his gigantic, magnificent body and slowly approach the center of the explosion. Demonic Xiao Yan's aura had completely vanished. The power of a quasi-divine combat skill was enough to erase him completely, but the sacred flame he possessed was a heavenly treasure, not easily extinguished. Even if he couldn't absorb it himself, gifting it to the leader of the extraterritorial evil clan would undoubtedly earn him immense rewards. In order to unleash this devastating attack, the centipede evil emperor had already expended his life essence and source power. He was now near the end of his strength, getting rid of the troublesome obstacles just to collect his interest. The 9 sacred flames and Xiao Yan's corpse were the most compelling evidence he could use to claim credit with the leader of the extraterritorial evil clan. Where's the corpse? Why is there no corpse? Could it be that he was utterly destroyed, both body and soul? After straining to push through the countless ripples of energy at the explosion's center, the centipede evil emperor found that, aside from the twisted void and a pool of dark green blood, there was nothing else. It seemed that the so-called descendant of the Xiao clan had truly been annihilated by his most powerful strike. But according to rumors, the sacred flame was an unbreakable heavenly treasure, impervious even to the countless methods the extraterritorial evil clan had used to try to destroy it. What was going on here? Whisper. Just as the centipede evil emperor was filled with confusion, a chilling coldness suddenly rose in his heart. In the next moment, from within the collapsed space in the evil clouds, a blinding, sacred flame erupted. At the center of the flame, a grotesque figure bathed in blood-red liquid stood, hands clasped together, holding a mysterious and immense black ruler. His eyes were filled with an unprecedented madness. The centipede may die, but it doesn't decay. Too bad. This time, I win. God-slaying ruler. A cold voice rang out from the figure, and a magnificent, radiant shadow materialized. Such a terrifying attack seems to fall within the realm of quasi-divine combat skills. On the pitch-black heavy ruler, 17 distinct fiery patterns began to flicker and dance, soon forming a dazzling golden giant ruler that spanned the entire sky, exuding an aura of extreme death and destruction. Now, the 100-poison evil emperor had already exhausted most of his strength. Yet if he were hit by Xiao Yan's attack, he would likely fall here for good. Fear, unease, began to slowly rise in his heart. 100-poison evil emperor, try this gift I've prepared for you. With a body battered and on the verge of collapse, Xiao Yan raised the god-slaying ruler, glowing with the power of 17 colored sacred patterns, high above his head. Then, with the calmness of a death sentence being delivered, he quietly slashed downward. It's over. At the moment when the strike fell, the entire evil cloud-filled void seemed to twist under an overwhelming force. Xiao Yan's mouth curled into a smug grin, his body straining to remain suspended in midair. This attack had drained him of all his power. Had it not been for the relentless resistance of the demon flame's evil radiance, the recent quasi-divine combat skill attack would have likely led to his immediate demise. However, just as the demon flame's power was about to be annihilated along with the attack, Xiao Yan discovered that his internal energies were greedily drawn to a drop of essence blood. After a brief moment of hesitation, the demon flame's power was forcibly retracted, and the drop of essence blood was silently absorbed by him. Meanwhile, the last attack remained evenly matched with the demon power. In fact, the previous scene was intentional. With all his strength, Xiao Yan could indeed resist the full force of the quasi-divine combat skill attack, but what about afterward? He still couldn't escape the fate of being erased. Rather than that, he chose to increase the attack range, using it as bait to lower the 100-poison evil emperor's guard and deliver a fatal strike when least expected. Boom! The earth-shattering blow came crashing down, and countless divine forces flooded the 100-poison evil emperor's body. His vitality, even his life force, rapidly dissipated. Such a world-destroying attack, Xiao Yan believed, no one below the 9th heaven could survive. Bang! 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 The colossal sound that blocked out the heavens and the earth caused the entire evil cloud-filled void to twist violently. Waves of sacred destruction energy poured out unrelentingly, striking the 100-poison evil emperor. Ah! You little pest! How dare a mere 8-fold reincarnation stage and make me so pathetic? The explosive sounds slowly faded as the once arrogant 100-poison evil emperor collapsed into a mass of his own life-threatening venom. The venom inside him appeared unusually dim, and the screeching cold sound fully permeated the void, which seemed on the brink of shattering at any moment. Xiao Yan's strike had completely annihilated all of his life force. Had the subsequent attack been even slightly stronger, the evil emperor would have been immediately wiped out. But now, with his foundation damaged, death was imminent. Today, I will drag you down with me. 100-poison evil explosion. A sky-shattering roar echoed through the air. Damn it, is it over? At this moment, watching the body shrink into a lump, an intense energy fluctuation emanated from the 100-poison evil emperor's body. Xiao Yan smiled bitterly with a touch of helplessness. The 8-fold reincarnation stage, facing off against the half-step 9th reincarnation stage. It was still too forced. Xun'er, Kailin, Ying, Xun'er. I fear I won't be able to fulfill my promise for the time being. As he watched the 100-poison evil emperor's desperate actions, a sense of relief suddenly appeared in Xiao Yan's eyes. Divine flames slowly began to envelop his body, signaling an attempt at self-destruction with his sacred flame in a bid to take the evil emperor down with him. Though Xiao Yan possessed immortality, He didn't know if he could survive the desperate self-explosion of a half-step ninth reincarnation stage powerhouse, but at this point, he had no other choice. Xiao Yan. Just as Xiao Yan and the 100 Poison Evil Emperor were both fighting desperately, a familiar and anxious voice suddenly sounded from the edge of the evil cloud-filled void. Don't go near. The energy fluctuations are too intense. With our strength, if we recklessly enter, we will surely. Sigh you. At this moment, due to the influence of the reincarnation tomb, the practitioners from the Great Thousand Worlds, who bore the reincarnation seal, were mysteriously summoned by its profound power. When they arrived, the 4 poison generals were wreaking havoc upon the Great Thousand Alliance, and it took the combined efforts of the group to resolve the crisis. Get out of there. Sensing a familiar aura entering the evil cloud-filled void, Xiao Yan, with great difficulty, twisted his lips and managed to say a few words. I won't. Little fairy doctor wore a purple robe, her determined expression and tone of voice giving Xiao Yan a sudden shock. Her appearance now was no different from before. Her long hair cascaded like a waterfall, her slender waist as delicate as a willow, and her entire body exuded an overwhelming poison power that rivaled the 100 Poison Evil Emperor. Boom! The explosive energy of the 100 Poison Evil Emperor spread like wildfire. Within the dim clouds, energy that didn't belong to this world began to emerge. Under this energy, not only Xiao Yan, but even little fairy doctor felt an exceptionally deadly ripple spread through their bodies. In the past, you protected me. Now, let me protect you. The woman's arrogant smile, coupled with her emotionless gray eyes like withered wood, was accompanied by a dazzling white poisonous mist that surged from them. Xiao Yan closed his eyes, attempting to push little fairy doctor away. But for some reason, the moment that colorful poisonous mist appeared, the power within him seemed to slip beyond his control, gradually quieting down. Delicate hands slowly wrapped around his wounded body. An enticing fragrance lingered on her graceful figure, but Xiao Yan was beyond caring about that. His mind filled with astonishment. The explosion energy from the 100 Poison Evil Emperor wasn't something little fairy doctor could handle. Poison God Cauldron. Myriad Poison Holy Realm. 2 crisp roars echoed, gradually enveloping the space. Colorful poisonous mist surrounded the two of them completely. Unfortunately, even with this, the evil fluctuations from the 100 Poison Evil Emperor continued to slowly erode their lives. Sigh. Xiao Yan struggled to turn around, looking at the arrogant woman in front of him. Like an older brother, his hand gently caressed her forehead, and his internal energy surged once again. No. At this moment, feeling the impending death crisis, little fairy doctor's gray eyes instantly turned crimson, a wave of overwhelming grief gathering in her eyes, on the verge of spilling over. Even after training for so long and gaining so many powers, why couldn't she protect this person in the end? The power within her seemed so weak, so fragile. Painful, uncontrollable sensations surged through little fairy doctor's mind. Ha ha ha, let's head to the underworld together. The self-detonation energy transformed into a world-destroying energy wave that instantly enveloped both Xiao Yan and little fairy doctor, as if they would perish in the next moment. Little brat, you've done well. Now, leave the rest to me. Just as Xiao Yan tried to break free from little fairy doctor's hold, a wave of pitch-black demon flames suddenly rose up in this world. As these flames surged, all of Xiao Yan's unease dissipated. A scorching heat he had never felt before surged through his veins, and his entire body began to boil. Xiao Yan, brother. Little fairy doctor, sister. In an instant, Xun'er, Mu Yingying, and Su Shuiying appeared. Their forms flashing out as a radiant, soft halo enveloped them, continuously healing Xiao Yan's battered body. Finally, is it over? At that moment, Xiao Yan exhaled in relief, taking a heavy breath, and then his body softened, collapsing gently into the arms of the 4 women. His appearance was one that others would undoubtedly envy. Within the evil clouds, after the 100 Poison Evil Emperor's self-detonation, a faint trace of his last consciousness remained, still controlling the explosive energy. However, sensing the void that suddenly condensed in this world. Fear and unease took over his final will entirely. Members of the sacred clan, the 100 Poison Evil Emperor, back then you were merely at the 7th reincarnation stage. Yet, after countless reincarnations, you have reached this level, truly surprising. However, I, a descendant of the Xiao clan, am not someone who can be easily exterminated. Next time we meet, I'll have the 2 strongest members of your sacred clan come. An ancient voice sounded, sharp and powerful like a lion that had just woken up. Without anyone seeing its source, with a mere wave of the hand, the self-destructive force of this half-step 9th reincarnation stage expert was completely obliterated, like dust vanishing into the void. Feeling the terrifying turn of events, Xiao Yan's heart, which had just calmed down, was once again shaken. What level of mastery had the Grand Elder of the Xiao clan, Xiao Yan, reached? 9th reincarnation stage? Or perhaps something even more terrifying? Glurp! The countless members of the Great Thousand Alliance looked up, stunned, their eyes wide open in shock as they watched the reversal of events in the sky. At this moment, 2 figures, a man and a woman, appeared out of thin air. The woman moved with grace, draped in a black robe, intricately embroidered with countless golden threads that enhanced her noble presence and status. Her silent eyes flickered with a hint of disdain for all things, and her figure resembled a night walker, lost in the shadows of darkness. Xiao Lingshan, the other person, radiated an overwhelming divine power, with gentle eyes that concealed an unfathomable, terrifying force. Master of the 9 mystical flames. Behind the 2 figures, there seemed to be a young, handsome, scholarly man, following Xiao Lingshan like a child who had done something wrong, meek and docile. Poison God Mysterious Crane. The Grand Elder's strength reached the 9th reincarnation stage long ago. Now that the reincarnation is complete, once his power fully recovers, he will truly be at the peak of the 9th reincarnation stage. Looking at the faint, mysterious figure in the sky, always elusive, Su Shuiying couldn't help but smile smugly. Hearing her casual words, Xiao Yan's eyelids twitched violently, and a deep shock settled in his heart, lingering for a long time. Peak of the 9th reincarnation stage? Among all the powerful figures Xiao Yan knew, only the legendary Xiao clan leader, Xiao Yuntian, or those related to the Thunder Lord, such as Xiao Tianming and the Golden Dragon King, could possibly be compared to him. Although he had long heard of the mysterious power of reincarnation and how succeeding in it could, with a slim chance, help the reincarnated break through their limits and elevate their strength, this revelation about Xiao Yan's power was simply too horrifying. Moreover, it wasn't just Xiao Yan. From his soul perception, it seemed that the strength of the women around him was also unusual. They must have gained significant benefits from their reincarnations. Senior Master of the 9 mystical flames has awakened, and his strength has reached the 8th reincarnation stage. As for me, my strength has broken through to the quasi-8th reincarnation stage. Xun'er, listening to this, playfully stuck out her tongue, then grinned proudly. Senior Xiao Lingshan's strength has surpassed to the 8th reincarnation stage, and my strength is about the same as Xun'er's. Mu Yingying smiled faintly and said with a gentle tone, Little Fairy Doctor's strength has also broken through to the peak of the 7th reincarnation stage, as Senior Poison God Mysterious Crane has reached the quasi-8th reincarnation stage. The group spoke one after another, their eyes carrying a trace of pride. By the way, Shuiying, your power seems hard to read. After recovering some energy, Xiao Yan turned to Su Shuiying and spoke. After the Grand Elder's reincarnation, his strength had clearly reached the peak of this world, and as his reincarnated one, Su Shuiying's strength must be slightly weaker than his. Being slightly weaker than the peak of the 9th reincarnation stage. What did that mean? Perhaps she, too, was one of the strongest in this world? Could it be that this girl's strength was already at the 9th reincarnation stage? The 9th reincarnation stage was the highest realm in the reincarnation stages. When did it become attainable through just the reincarnation seal? Every time Xiao Yan thought about it, a sense of frustration welled up in his heart. He had worked tirelessly to reach the 8th reincarnation stage, and yet others could easily surpass him. With their strength skyrocketing after their reincarnation, thanks to the reincarnation seal. How could that not be infuriating? Not quite, brother Xiao Yan. There's something you don't know. The reincarnation seal is indeed powerful, but it exists mainly to protect the strong ones who enter reincarnation. In return, upon success, the reincarnated will gain the powers of the strong person they reincarnated from. However, the process is not as easy as it seems. Many reincarnated beings perish before they even succeed. Even if the person chosen for reincarnation inherits a divine legacy, like the one from the divine palace, after reincarnation, their strength will rarely exceed the 8th reincarnation stage. The biggest downside of the reincarnation seal is that it cannot use external forces, like pills, to break through. The rapid rise in strength after reincarnation essentially becomes our limit in this life. Unless we are extraordinary geniuses, we may never reach the 9th reincarnation stage in this life. Xun'er patiently explained the details of the reincarnation seal. I see now. Xiao Yan nodded, clearly understanding that reincarnation had both its pros and cons. If there were only benefits and no drawbacks, Xiao Yan would have gladly walked to his death. My strength should be at the peak of the 8th reincarnation stage. As Xun'er said, it is unlikely that I'll break through in this life. Su Shuiying nodded quietly and stated her own strength. At this point, the group gathered high above the reincarnation sea, discussing among themselves, indifferent to the battered state of the sea. Given the current relationship and strength of the three, and with the 9th mystical Fire Lord knowing much about the events from the past, misunderstandings like those from before were naturally easily resolved. However, Xiao Lingshan still showed a rather indifferent attitude towards the poison god Mysterious Crane, which worried the poison god Mysterious Crane greatly. At their current level, improving strength had become extremely difficult. It would be better to find a lover and live a life like that of immortal companions. Lingshan, there's no need to worry about the Xiao clan's matters. Just do what you need to do. The Xiao clan caused you a lot of suffering back then. In the boundless void of the reincarnation sea, a concerned voice from the legendary Grand Elder of the Xiao clan echoed. I can let bygones be bygones, but as for the future, that will depend on your actions. All right, the poison god Mysterious Crane quickly responded. Turning around, he saw Xiao Yan surrounded by many people, which caused a stirring in his heart. Is the difference between people really that vast? This girl is now one of our own. You wouldn't want to retract your poison pills, would you? It seemed that Xiao Lingshan had sensed the poison god Mysterious Crane's concerns. With her hands on her hips, she looked at him with an angry expression. Of course not. After this is over, I'll teach this girl the true poison god method. From now on, I'll consider myself one of your own, right? The poison god Mysterious Crane had thought it through. He had done many wrong things in the past. Now that Xiao Lingshan was willing to forgive him, things like power and strength were no longer important. That's better. At this moment, both of their auras and attitudes slowly began to change. Girl, you seem to carry her aura. Is she all right? After a moment, the 9th mystical Fire Lord felt a familiar aura from Xun'er's body, causing his heart to tremble involuntarily. Senior Feng Luan Yi is waiting at the new residence of the Phoenix clan for your return. However, the disappearance of the reinforcements the Xiao clan sent to help the Phoenix clan remains a sore spot for many powerful figures within the Phoenix clan. That misunderstanding will likely take some time to clear up. Seeing the 9th mystical Fire Lord's moved expression, Xun'er smiled. As a reincarnated soul, Xun'er naturally understood the relationship between him and Feng Luan Yi better than anyone. Then I'm relieved. The 5-legged golden crow, after my refinement, has undergone a qualitative change. Consider this my first meeting gift. This item is called the 10 Crows Divine Shield. At this moment, the 9th mystical Fire Lord slowly extended his hand. The 5-legged golden crow charm, which had been part of the artifact bracelet, now transformed into a flaming light shield. The immense energy contained within it caused even an 8th reincarnation stage expert to tremble. Grand Elder, do you know of this matter? After their conversation, Xiao Yan finally turned his gaze towards the endless horizon of the reincarnation sea, where the aura of the Grand Elder resided. I've heard about the disappearance of the coalition led by the Third Elder. However, My guess is that the mysterious person who had previously surrounded and attacked Yao Ji was likely the one who stopped them. I wonder how Yao Ji is doing now. With her talent, if she hasn't perished, reaching the 9th tier would be a natural progression. A calm voice, filled with subtle shock, echoed from the sky. It seemed the Grand Elder was intentionally concealing his own whereabouts. Yao Ji has already been rescued from the 2nd demon prison by us. Her strength has now naturally reached the 9th tier, and she is currently at the headquarters of the Endless Flame Alliance, waiting for your return to discuss major matters. Xiao Yan smiled, a sense of unprecedented joy spreading through him. After countless trials and tribulations, they were now only a few steps away from rescuing the Xiao clan. That's excellent. At this moment, the Grand Elder's voice also became filled with relief. Boom, boom, boom. Suddenly, the entire horizon was filled with violent energy fluctuations, as if terrifying existences were slowly awakening. The undying sacred sovereign and others, sensing these extraordinary and terrifying auras from the sky, stood frozen in place, unable to move for a long time. Since the Reincarnation Sea has come to an end, let's set off back. After a brief hesitation, Xiao Yan spoke hastily. With the Grand Elder and the forces of the Endless Flame Alliance, they now had the power to enter the Netherworld and rescue the Xiao clan. The matter with the Netherworld could no longer be delayed. Kid, you're really impatient. But don't you want to break through to the peak of the 8th reincarnation stage? At this moment, looking at the broken reincarnation tombs in the Reincarnation Sea and the evil forces scattering in all directions, a playful smile appeared on the Grand Elder's face in the sky. All the evil experts in the Reincarnation Sea have been exterminated, but the residual evil power is too vast. Now that we've just completed our reincarnation, this immense evil power can't be wiped out in a short time. Xiao Lingshan took a step forward, gazing at the vast energy surging through the Reincarnation Sea. Her lips parted slightly, clearly intending to provide Xiao Yan with an immense opportunity. After all, Xiao Yan's desperate actions earlier had truly shocked them. Moreover, in the Reincarnation Sea, due to the attacks from the 3 great saint clans, many reincarnation powerhouses have already perished in the Reincarnation Tomb. After their fall, the remaining power turned into a significant opportunity. If we leave now, it would be a wasted chance, a squandered opportunity. Poison God Mysterious Crane also stepped forward, scanning the surroundings with a silent gaze, easily explaining the situation. No one questioned the enormous opportunity at hand. Xiao Yan, brother, since that's the case, let's begin. All right, let's begin. We'll wait here. In an instant, the women around stared at Xiao Yan with eager eyes. Thank you, Senior. Xiao Yan slowly moved away from the group, then lightly stepped into the void, cupping his fists and bowing respectfully towards the Grand Elder, hidden in the sky. Heh, no need for thanks. After the Xiao clan's decline, to see a descendant with such exceptional talent appear in the lower realm's origin land is a blessing for our Xiao clan. The Grand Elder's voice was calm and transmitted like a sound wave piercing through everything, gradually expanding across the entire Reincarnation Sea. The once dormant reincarnation energies became even more intense. Everyone, this person is the greatest contributor to the Reincarnation Sea. Will you lend him your strength? A vast voice reverberated through the heavens and earth. Immediately, countless reincarnation light screens in the Reincarnation Sea trembled and transformed into numerous different forces, slowly pouring into Xiao Yan's body. The Grand Elder, who had slept in the Reincarnation Sea for such a long time, had single-handedly protected the Reincarnation Sea's countless reincarnations. If it weren't for this superpower, the Reincarnation Sea would have already turned to dust under the repeated covert attacks by the Human Realm Center and the extraterritorial Evil Clan. Though these reincarnation powerhouses had perished, leaving only traces of their consciousness, they clearly wanted to repay the favor. Grand Elder. It wasn't until Xiao Yan was fully enveloped by countless strands of light that a seemingly young man appeared in the sky. This person looked quite similar to Xiao Yan, but his slightly darker eyes contained an unmeasurable, terrifying fluctuation. If Xiao Yan were present, he would have realized that this person's soul power was also at the perfect level of divine soul. With the peak strength of the 9th reincarnation stage and near-peak soul power, the Grand Elder's power was among the most formidable in the entire Great Thousand Worlds. The fluctuation of the energy sphere surrounding Xiao Yan was still growing. With the nourishment of the centipede evil emperor's essence blood and the infusion of countless reincarnation energies, breaking through to the peak of the 8th reincarnation stage would likely happen soon. The Angel Kingdom and the Human Realm Center have sent guardians to protect the Reincarnation Sea, but they have perished. After a moment, Xiao Lingshan seemed to step out from the distance, her eyes flickering with a strange aura. Angel Kingdom, Human Realm Center. This debt will be settled sooner or later. Now, the best course of action is to wait for this little guy's retreat to succeed, and then discuss our next steps. After all, we've been in seclusion for so long, and our understanding of the current Great Thousand Worlds is somewhat blurry. If we act rashly, it could lead to public outrage. At this moment, the Grand Elder slowly stretched out his hand, lazily yawning, and remained silent. Though the peak of the 9th reincarnation stage was formidable, the Angel Kingdom and the Human Realm Center weren't without countermeasures. For the time being, everyone quietly waited. The few women who had just gained reincarnation strength closed their eyes to meditate, patiently feeling the surging power within their bodies. At the Human Realm Center's base, there was a vast and peaceful immortal land. The area was boundless, and apart from the numerous divine palaces of the Human Realm Center's powerful figures, there were also 3 major unique locations. The beings residing in these 3 unique lands were among the highest-ranking individuals in the Human Realm Center, second only to the Realm Lord. The 3 unique locations were the Icebound Abyss, the Valley of Forgotten Immortals, and the Star Track Pavilion. At this moment, in the Valley of Forgotten Immortals, Master, the Lord of the ancient Heavenly Palace, has safely returned from the Reincarnation Sea's catastrophe. In the quiet valley, birds sang and flowers bloomed, but there were no signs of life. A sinister, eerie voice echoed in the void. This guy, does he no longer have the courage to see me? It seems that the Reincarnation Sea battle ended in failure. As the eerie voice lingered, an old man, sitting quietly by a stream in a raincoat and leisurely fishing, muttered to himself, "Master, you don't know. The Reincarnation Sea catastrophe was a conspiracy designed by the 3 great saint clans. The purpose was to completely wipe out the elite forces of the Great Thousand Alliance and the many reincarnation powerhouses in the Reincarnation Sea." A chilling voice echoed through the void, as if this place was suffused with an overwhelming and terrifying aura, something beyond the realms of heaven and earth, preventing it from appearing directly. How could a mere descendant of the Xiao clan, at the 8th reincarnation stage, possibly resist a half-step 9th reincarnation stage? At that moment, the old man's fishing rod trembled slightly in his hand, a deep confusion creeping into his mind. For one who had reached his level of power, the immense gap between the 8th and 9th reincarnation stages was crystal clear. Such a gap could not be bridged by the holy flame alone. There seems to be a new, foreign power awakening within Xiao Yan, something that doesn't belong to the Great Thousand Worlds. That aura likely comes from the Netherworld realm. Moreover, Xiao Yan holds the divine artifact once wielded by the Holy King, the second-ranked god-slaying ruler. A stream of detailed information about Xiao Yan gradually passed through the endless void, reaching the ears of this powerful figure. Crack! The moment the ominous sound in the void died down, the old man, who had previously appeared somewhat indifferent, gently squeezed his hand. The fishing rod in his grasp instantly turned to dust. Even the waters beneath the river surged in chaos, as a terrifying force of time surged uncontrollably from his body, twisting the entire valley and warping the very fabric of heaven and earth. In an instant, the world seemed to change color. 2 of the other lords. One must go and intercept the extraterritorial strongman and kill him. The other is currently overseeing the situation at the center of the human realm. I had no choice but to risk my life to seek an audience with you. What should we do next? The chilling voice suddenly became fearful. Gather the forces, even if it means risking being denounced by countless powers of the Great Thousand Worlds. This person cannot be allowed to live. At that moment, A genuine shock and unease slowly formed in his heart. A power from the netherworld realm, an unknown attribute. What other force could it be, other than demonic power? Even now, the vast human realm center has no means of countering it. If this power is allowed to take full control, it would be a true disaster for the human realm. I fear it's too late. That old fool, Xiao Yan, has already succeeded in reincarnation. By some fortunate chance, his strength has reached the peak of the 9th reincarnation stage. Now, with the protection of Yao Ji, Xiao Yan, and others within the Endless Flame Alliance, even if we, the 3 regional powers, act together, we would struggle to make a move. If we force the issue, it will only give the extraterritorial evil clan an opening. At that moment, a slightly cold voice slowly appeared in the world. When it manifested, the entire world seemed to fall into a freezing abyss that had not merged for millennia. It was the aura of the Lord of the 10,000 Cold Ice Cavern. What the hell is the Lord of the human realm doing? How can he allow such a great threat to the center of the human realm to grow unchecked? Damn it! The sound of furious roars, accompanied by waves of soul-shaking, terrifying power, swept across the area. Don't you know his purpose yet? He's been trapped in the 9th reincarnation for far too long. However, he has now entered seclusion. Our immediate priority is to keep an eye on the Endless Flame Alliance and the restless powers of the Great Thousand Worlds. The Lord of the 10,000 Cold Ice Cavern let out a helpless cold laugh. A bunch of useless fools. If the Lord of the Realm finds out about this, even if you die 1,000 times, you won't escape blame. The old man's chilling voice slowly resounded, as if he were quickly calculating something in his mind. My lord, we were wrong. But with Xiao Yan, Xiao Lingshan, the master of the 9 mystical flames, and the poison god Mysterious Crane, the strength of the Great Thousand Alliance back then was simply insufficient to change the outcome. The trembling voice quickly faded into the void. It was clear that the messenger was under orders from the ancient heavenly palace. That old bastard, Xiao Yan, actually succeeded in reincarnation and broke through to the peak of the 9th reincarnation stage. Damn it. Someone, take my orders and tell the Angel Kingdom everything about the Reincarnation Sea. This may require their intervention. Yes, my lord. Angel Kingdom, I hope you won't disappoint me. The atmosphere in the valley gradually began to calm. Sister, do we really have to? Don't worry, sister. We'll make him pay for this sooner or later. The Lord of the 10,000 Cold Ice Cavern was indeed a cold beauty, exuding an aura that warned others not to approach. That frigid power could only belong to someone at the 9th reincarnation stage. Yet, she occasionally muttered to herself, and there seemed to be an underlying hostility toward the human realm's center. Angel Kingdom. City Patrol Angel, MOU seeks an audience outside the Holy City. On the heavily guarded walls of the Angel Holy City, several angels rushed to report, their expressions tense, clearly indicating that the visitor held a significant rank. A trusted subordinate of forgetful immortal Xuanzuan, one of the 3 great lords of the human realm? What's he doing here at this time? Should we meet him or not? Both the Angel Queen and the Slaughter Angel are in seclusion right now. For a moment, the City Patrol Angel, responsible for guarding Angelic Holy City, wore a face full of fear and unease. Someone, take him to the Angelic Hall. Also, send word to the Night Order's elites. This matter must not reach the ears of the Slaughter Angel faction. Yes, my lord. As the words fell, the angel quietly left the city walls of Angelic Holy City, heading toward the Angelic Hall. In the Angelic Hall, only 3 people sat there. One was MOU, a trusted confidant sent by forgetful immortal Xuanzuan from the center of the human realm to deliver a message. The second was Aishi, the City Patrol Angel responsible for the protection of Angelic Holy City. The third, clad in full silver armor, with faint angelic wings visible on the armor, exuded an overwhelming pressure. He was shocked. The Silver Radiance Knight, the personal knight of the Angel Queen. The people are all here. Lord MOU, you may speak now.